think you should pay everybody? Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just got it.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
If you think your local government is chaotic, wait until you hear about the political circus unfolding in Dalton, Illinois. The village has become the stage for an ongoing drama that could easily be mistaken for reality TV starring none other than Mayor Tiffany Hard. The power struggle between her and the Board of Trustees has turned into a jaw-dropping, headline-grabbing spectacle, leaving the entire town on edge. And with each passing day, the situation only seems to get crazier.
The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
But here's the kicker: Hard isn't just any mayor, oh no, she's a self-proclaimed boss who's been running the show her way, and let's just say it's been anything but smooth sailing. She's clashing with the Board of Trustees, sparking legal battles, and making decisions that have many residents questioning her motives and authority. And then there are the court orders and restraining orders swirling around her like a dark storm cloud. What's even more shocking, she seems to brush them off like they're no big deal, as if the rules don't apply to her. So let's dive into the latest chapter of this political saga that's got everyone on edge and glued to their screens.
It's my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big meetings.
It all went down during a chaotic Park District meeting that quickly spiraled out of control, just like so many public gatherings in Dalton have lately. Normally, village meetings are supposed to be dull and routine, a few reports, some minor discussions, and then everyone heads home. But when Mayor Hard is involved, it's anything but boring. This time, the trustees decided to hold the village board meeting at the Park District instead of the usual small village hall. Why? They wanted more space for residents to attend. And trust us, people in Dalton are paying close attention to the growing tension between the mayor and the trustees. With the drama escalating, more and more locals are showing up, eager to watch the spectacle unfold live.
A one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
But Hard wasn't having it. Instead of attending the trustees' meeting, she decided to hold her own event back at the village hall. This is the real meeting, she declared in front of a small group, calling the official gathering at the Park District nothing more than a farce. You could practically feel the tension through the screen as she thanked her two loyal trustees, Andrew Holmes and Stan Brown, for showing up to support her while the rest of the board was nowhere to be found. Hard, who's been in a fierce battle with the trustees for months, seemed determined to maintain control, even if it meant defying the board. The catch? She didn't have a quorum, so the meeting was ultimately canceled. But that didn't stop her from putting on a show. "I'm the mayor," she reminded everyone, positioning herself as the one in charge, even if the rest of the board didn't bother to show up. It was like something straight out of a political soap opera, full of power plays, drama, and a whole lot of back and forth tension.
So that's one of the reasons I've known when we go through our board packets. It's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask the question is...
Now, let's dive into why this feud is such a big deal. One of the major points of contention is Mayor Hard's controversial decision to appoint a new village manager, village attorney, and police chief, all without the approval of the trustees. Yes, you heard that right. She's been attempting to push these appointments through on her own, completely bypassing the board's authority. And that's where things start to get really messy.
Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from...
A Cook County judge issued a restraining order against Hard, effectively blocking her from making these appointments without the board's approval. But of course, Hard has been playing fast and loose with the law, seemingly ignoring the court's orders. It's almost as if she's daring the legal system to take action. Judge Sadis Wilson has warned her that continued defiance could lead to serious consequences, but Hard doesn't seem too concerned.
an awesome time on the backs of taxpayers. But what do we gain from any of these trips? We gain nothing.
And get this, despite the judge's order blocking her from hiring certain people, some of them are still hanging around Village Hall. Take Michael Smith, for example. He's one of the individuals Hard wanted to appoint, and even after the restraining order, he's been spotted at the Village Hall. This raises even more questions about who's really in charge and why certain people are still showing up when they've technically been blocked from taking office. The situation gets even stranger when you consider that other former employees, like William Moore, are still showing up at Village Hall every day. Moore, who was laid off but works full-time at a neighboring township, continues to hang around Dalton's village offices, leaving many scratching their heads. Why is he there, and what role is he playing in Hard's plans? Some trustees have hinted that Moore, along with others, might be helping Hard bypass the board's authority by maintaining inside connections. It all raises the stakes even further, adding another layer of suspicion to the already tangled web of Dalton's political scene.
I'm out to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything, it will just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
Hard's actions have drawn intense legal scrutiny. Trustees have accused her of consolidating power in ways that are not only unethical but outright illegal. They're concerned that her appointments could destabilize the village even further, and frankly, they have every reason to be worried. The situation has escalated to the point where federal investigators are now involved. The FBI is reportedly examining Dalton's finances, and while it's unclear exactly who's under investigation, Hard's spending habits have certainly raised some red flags.
The government always does it, is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing.
Remember when former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was brought in to investigate Dalton's financial situation? Well, she didn't pull any punches. After closely examining the village's books, Lightfoot revealed that Dalton's general fund was in the red by over $3.6 million, yes, millions in the hole. And that was just from a limited review of the finances. The deeper Lightfoot and her team dug, the worse things looked. For example, she uncovered that Hard had racked up massive unaccounted-for expenses, including a staggering $40,000 in Amazon purchases in a single day. For what, exactly? No one seems to know.
And they thought they can get away.
One of the most bizarre elements of this ongoing drama is the role of Stan Brown. Brown is one of the two trustees who has stuck by Hard's side, but his loyalty has been, well, confusing to say the least. At one point, he was spotted at a trustees meeting, leading many to believe he might have switched sides. But just when it seemed like he had, he was back at Hard's village hall meeting, looking as confused as everyone else. What's his game plan? Is he playing both sides, or is he genuinely unsure of where he stands? Either way, his presence at these meetings, whether with Hard or the trustees, has become a point of contention. And then there's Andrew Holmes, another staunch supporter of Hard. Holmes has been one of the few people still backing the mayor despite everything that's unfolding. But how long can that loyalty last? As the legal pressure mounts, it's hard to imagine both Holmes and Brown sticking by Hard's side if things continue to deteriorate. And trust us, they probably will.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1993.
The village of Dalton has reached a breaking point. The trustees are frustrated, the residents are fed up, and Hard seems to be living in her own world, continuing to do whatever she pleases despite the growing backlash and mounting legal threats. And those threats aren't going away anytime soon. If Hard keeps pushing the limits, ignoring court orders, surrounding herself with controversial figures, and making moves that defy both the trustees and the courts, something's got to give. One thing's for sure, the residents of Dalton are watching closely, and they're not happy. Many have turned to social media to voice their concerns, and they're not holding back. One comment that's been circulating reads, "When is this uneducated criminal going to be arrested?" It's a sentiment shared by many in the community who feel Hard has been allowed to get away with too much for too long. Another person pointed out, her goons will show up for work, still law enforcement won't do anything to stop it either. She hasn't suffered any consequences for her actions. It's insanity.
The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
And honestly, that's exactly what it feels like, insanity. Hard's defiance of the court, the board, and even common sense has created a whirlwind of chaos in Dalton, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight. While the trustees are trying to restore some semblance of order, it's clear that Hard has no intention of backing down. The fact that laid-off employees are still showing up for work, and people like William Moore continue to linger around Village Hall despite being told to leave, is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a total breakdown in governance, and no one seems to know how to fix it. Hard's actions have sparked a fierce debate in Dalton about whether she's fit to lead. Many residents feel she's out of control, disregarding both the rules and the will of the people. Some have even begun calling for her resignation. But so far, she's showing no signs of stepping down. If anything, she seems more determined than ever to hold on to power no matter the cost.
Henyard is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack.
So what's next for Dalton? The situation is as unpredictable as ever. With more meetings on the horizon, it's clear that the drama isn't going anywhere. In fact, things could get even messier as the legal battles continue to unfold. Hard's blatant disregard for the rules is pushing the village to the brink, and it feels like it's only a matter of time before something major happens. Will she finally face consequences for her actions, or will she keep defying the courts and the trustees? That's the million-dollar question as the community waits for the next twist in this political saga. One thing is for sure, Dalton is a village in turmoil and Mayor Hart is at the center of it all. The stakes are high, the tension is building, and everyone is watching closely to see what happens next. You can bet it's going to be explosive. So what do you think? Is Mayor Hart just playing the game, or has she gone too far this time? Will the legal system finally step in and put an end to the chaos? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over.